Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. Last year, Citroen launched the Basalt and now they have brought in the Basalt X. This SUV coupe features no cosmetic changes, with the only exterior change being that the fog lamps are now LEDs and an X badge has been added on the tailgate. The majority of the changes are to the interiors, as this car features a new dashboard which gets the bronze treatment along with leatherette inserts on the dashboard and door pads. While this does look premium, there are a lot of hard plastics in the cabin. The seats also get the leatherette treatment and the tan and black upholstery does look premium. Citroen has added a ton of new and much needed features to this car, like a new key, keyless passive entry system, push button start, cruise control, auto dimming IRVM, ventilated front seats, white ambient lighting, Kara AI voice assistant.
How can I help you?
Find me a Maruti Suzuki service center.
The closest Maruti Suzuki service center is Maruti Suzuki Service, Excel Auto Vista in Kargar, Navi Mumbai. Let me know if you need directions or any more details.
Yeah, I would need directions. If Citroen had service centers around me, I wouldn't be asking you about Maruti Suzuki service centers.
Got it. I've set up the directions to the Maruti Suzuki Service Center in Kargar.
And an optional 360-degree camera that looks aftermarket and costs rupees 25,000. It is actually mandatory to opt for. It's basically a dealer level fitment, and without this you have no rear parking camera, which although has guidelines, aren't adaptive. While it has plenty of views, quality of the camera is just poor. That's it. Nothing else has changed. The Basalt continues to be a good looking car, with the French design being quite unique. The squared wheel arches and thick body cladding make the 16-inch wheels look small, while the boot integration makes this 4.35 meter car look more sedan than SUV. The flap type door handles look old and out of place here, while the 2.65 meters long wheelbase gives the Basalt good interior room with decent legroom and knee room at the rear. But under thigh support and headroom isn't adequate for someone as tall as me. But you can adjust the under thigh support like this, which does help, and the winged rear headrests are very supportive. The seats have just the right foaming, not too soft, not too hard. Citroen does know how to make good seats. Storage space is decent, with storage under the front sliding armrest and handbrake, while the glove box and door pockets are quite big too. Twin cup holders are placed ahead of the gear lever and in the rear center armrest, which also has a phone holder. There are magazine pockets too. The boot is 470 liters, which is quite accommodating. Standard features include a 7-inch instrument cluster which has a multi-information display, steering mounted buttons, 10.25-inch infotainment screen which is a bit too basic, wireless CarPlay that doesn't work, and Android Auto, climate control AC which is a chiller and goes all the way down to 14 degrees Celsius, wireless phone charging pad which also has a cooling function and the Citroen logo on it, TPMS, 6 airbags, rear AC vents, ISOFIX child seat mounts, power folding mirrors, and a 6-speaker sound system which has average audio quality. Which brings me to 3 annoying things I don't like about this car. The first is the cost cutting. Like the exposed screws in multiple areas, like on the sun visor, which on the driver's side doesn't get a mirror. Exposed wires in the boot. Then there are no load sensors on the rear seat, so even with no one seated there, the seatbelt reminder rings for 60 seconds, and there are just 2 rear parking sensors and not 4. The spare wheel is smaller sized at 185/65/15 and isn't an alloy, while the rear brakes use drums and not discs. And all 4 power windows have one touch down, but no one touch up, because that would mean Citroen would have to add anti-pinch. The second are the missing features. Like the steering is only height adjustable. The 360-degree view is stuck at this angle and it doesn't respond to touch inputs at all. You have to use this button to change the camera views. There's no USB-C at the front but a USB-A, although 2 USB-C ports are there at the rear. There is no rear wiper, and yes, a sunroof is missing too. I know many of you are like, why do you need a sunroof? Well, because that's a feature most buyers want, and when the competition is offering it, Citroen needs to too. The third thing I don't like are the ergonomic flaws. Like, there are no physical buttons for the infotainment system. The rear center passenger doesn't get an adjustable headrest. The center console protrudes too much, so the middle passenger won't be comfortable, and the cabin isn't wide enough for 3 at the rear. The rear seats fold down in a single piece and not in 60/40 format. But there is a lot to like, and most of it is when you start driving it. So let's give it the beans. And straight away we come into drive into manual mode and off we go. Oh god, this seatbelt reminder is going to really frustrate the shit out of me. Anyways, my goodness, this is such a fun car to drive. It is so eager around the corners. It's unbelievable how much fun this car is. Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying driving this Basalt because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And then performance is also quite good. Yes, it's a 3-cylinder engine. There are 2 engines on offer. There's a 1.2 litre NA engine which produces 82 horsepower and 115 Newton meters of torque. I don't know why that guy is pointing in the wrong direction, but look at this, okay? Okay, yeah, then traction control now, it unfortunately kicks in abruptly and I don't know how to turn it off. At least I can't find a button to turn it off, so I don't think it can be turned off. And it intervenes very quickly, so when you're trying to corner hard, it will cut down power, which is very frustrating actually. But even on the worst of roads, this car absolutely glides, so it is not just fun to drive, it's also very comfortable to be in, because that's how good the overall ride and handling balance is. That V-Class came out of nowhere, honestly. Anyways, so like I was saying, the performance is good. In fact, performance is so good that making a quick overtake and all is not difficult at all, because when you see a speed breaker, you don't have to stop, you just go full throttle over it without any hesitation whatsoever. So like I was telling you, there are 2 engines on offer. There's a 1.2 litre NA petrol engine, 82 horsepower and 115 Newton meters of torque. Avoid that, although it gets the job done. Get the turbo. The turbo is obviously more powerful. It's also more efficient, and the turbo produces 110 horsepower and 190 Newton meters of torque in the manual. In the automatic, that's 205 Newton meters of torque. 6-speed manual in the turbo, 5-speed manual in the non-turbo, and a 6-speed as-in-sourced automatic gearbox in the turbo, which obviously is convenient, offers really smooth shifts, but is not the fastest and can hesitate at certain times. But then you're not going to really complain on that front, because given the price of this car, this is completely fine. The way this car is not really supposed to be lightning fast with shifts. You can manually take control of gear shifts by shifting using the Citroen function. However, there are no paddle shifters here, but again, that's not a problem. There is obviously turbo lag expectedly, but in the mid-range it pulls nicely and strongly all the way to the red line, so that's a nice linear pull there. So performance is very likable. In spite of being a 3-cylinder engine, you will never feel that this car doesn't have the grunt. But there's a small problem, and that problem is, firstly, there is turbo lag. The engine is noisy and vocal, and because it's a 3-cylinder engine, there are vibrations which you can feel, and you can feel a lot of them at idle. There's this rocking movement which you can feel only at idle. Once you get going, things definitely settle in and the car feels much better to drive. In fact, high-speed stability is not the best here, because the suspension is really very soft. It's the softest of the C-cubed cars, which is the C3, the Aircross, as well as the Basalt, and that's the reason why at higher speeds there is this up and down movement which you can feel. The steering, it weighs up decently well at high speeds, but it's heavy at lower speeds. So yes, twirling it at lower speeds, you can feel the weight, which is fine, but there's some slack in the center head position. As you drive the car faster and harder, it definitely weighs up better in terms of the steering feel, and yeah, I think the suspension also settles in better. Yes, the movement is there, but low speed ride is better. The horn is okay, it's not great, and you can see the steering is a bit on the heavier side. I get into the throttle. Yeah, wheel spin, plenty of it, and let's do the wiper test. One nozzle putting out 3 sprays, yeah, that is actually good enough. The front wipers, because there's none at the rear. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator. Let's time the car. Let's see how fast it is to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. You can feel the vibrations, bit of sound, not really comfortable or refined here. And off we go. Come on. First gear, it upshifts at around 5,500 RPM. Second gear, it upshifts around almost 6,000 RPM. So not very high revving a motor, and that's 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 11.4 seconds, which is actually quite impressive. Yeah, the performance is super duper awesome here. Considering the size of the engine and the amount of power here, it still is fantastic. You know why? Because there's a lot of torque, and the gearbox might be slow, but it gets the job done. But the big part is that this car is actually quite light in terms of weight, and that lightweight along with the terrific grip on offer really make this car super engaging and fun to drive. Obviously there is body roll, you can feel the softness, roly-poly happening here, but then I can't really complain much. Yeah, and the brakes are not the best because there's nosedive is there under heavy braking. Let's come into the regular drive mode, not in manual mode. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revs till 2,500 RPM, and off we go. Little bit of wheel spin. Upshifts at 6,000 RPM. In manual mode, it's upshifting slightly earlier. Doesn't make logical sense at all. And 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 12 seconds. So yeah, somewhere around 11.5, 12 seconds is what the acceleration timing in this car. So making quick overtakes on the highway, not an issue at all here, because it is quick enough and has the grunt to like make you go past slow going traffic without any hesitation. Concept of signal does not exist for motorcyclists or two-wheeler riders, at least not for scooter riders, I think. Anyways, let's quickly jump to an off-road course. So technically not an off-road course, but sort of bad roads, and even on the worst of bumps, this car absolutely glides. The ride quality is just mind-blowing, absolutely phenomenal. Look at these bumps. This car is just unfazed by even the worst of bumps because the suspension is really very soft, and then there's good amount of profile with the 16-inch tires here. Fantastic ride, amazing handling. Yes, this is a super fun car to drive because you don't have to slow down at all. You can just belt it and just go, and it just does not hesitate at all. It's just mind-blowing, the ride quality of this car. And I think there's a photo shoot happening with this Mercedes GLE, so we will just make some space for this Mercedes to just leave so that we can go further ahead. And that was quite quick, I appreciate it. Anyway, off we go. Bumps, no problem in this car. Just takes everything in its stride beautifully. Trust me, if you're looking for a comfortable car, nothing, absolutely nothing beats this Citroen, because it's just phenomenal in the way it drives. It's phenomenal in the comfort levels. There's nothing as comfortable at this price point. By far the most comfortable car in the segment, or under rupees 20 lakhs. It just eats up and gobbles up the potholes like this. Phenomenal. I absolutely love the ride quality of this car and the driving feel. It's so fun to drive. There's so much grip on offer as well. Simply lovely. So the Basalt isn't perfect, but it doesn't need to be, because the pricing is very attractive. Citroen has actually reduced the price of this car while improving it, something very rare in the car industry. There are 3 trims, U, Plus, Max, and a total of 9 variants. The range starts at Rs 9.33 lakhs for the base variant and goes all the way to 15.55 lakhs for the top end variant, which is this one. All the prices are on-road Mumbai. You pay Rs 83,000 more for turbo, Rs 1.48 lakhs more for automatic, and Rs 25,000 more for dual tone paint, which all seems stellar value for money. The problem with the Basalt isn't with the car itself, it's with the body style. The Curvv has failed miserably, which points to the fact that Indians really don't like coupe SUVs. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give the thumbs up. That's the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. What absolute joy this car is. What a machine!